Esmond here is trying to make you a better for winners and whiners, and the guy that also is always trying to make you a better and make you a ton of money, Mr. David Delano joins us here. David, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. How you doing today, Lou?
Man, I am tearing it up in baseball. 24-10.
Wow.
24-10. And I actually have made a lot of money recently, and I'm the top of the cappers pan in a couple of places because I took a number of plus 145, plus 165 underdog baseball bets and scored them. So liking that. You know where I'm really go ahead.
Well, that's the way to do it with those underdogs. And I also noticed, you didn't mention it, but I also noticed you had a few NBA picks in there as well that did pretty good.
Yeah, I was one of the first season ticket holders for the Sacramento Kings because my dad's law firm was in Sacramento, and they bought when the Kings first moved to Sacramento, and they were playing in that old crap auditorium, and they were just terrible. The Reggie Theus days, not the Vlade Divac and Chris Webber days, but 20 years before that, when they were just god awful. I went to the Kings game, and so I still follow the Kings. And so I had a feeling on a few of those games how things would go, and that's mostly what I was betting on was the Kings series. So that's the one basketball team I really pay very close attention to.
Gotcha.
Now, something you told me you're not really paying that much attention to anymore is the USFL, and I got to tell you, as far as the betting, you're not missing anything. I am the football expert, and hockey is second, baseball, horse racing, and then basketball is not my thing. Really, I really have to have a feeling about it. But it's the football that is hurting my scores. My losses are all in football because the USFL makes no sense.
Yeah, I'm not a huge hockey guy, but I follow the NHL playoffs. So I think that with the XFL wrapping up, following the NHL playoffs along with baseball and the NBA going on, USFL, like you said, it makes no sense. I don't think that the football, in my opinion, is as good as the XFL.
No,
I just haven't been as into it.
it hasn't been, and it has a touch of WWE to it.
Yeah.
Some of the outcomes just look. The one thing I was sure of last week was the Memphis Showboats would lose, and the Memphis Showboats beat the best team in the league, who is averaging north of 30 points a game, with the MVP of the league so far at their quarterback, and the Showboats beat New Orleans 17-10. I was watching that game, and I'm just like, you have got to be kidding. They turned the ball over repeatedly, sloppy plays, stupid penalties. It was bizarre. And then the Philadelphia Stars game, the Stars win 24-21 on a walk-off, kickoff, 55-yard field goal. All their scoring was field goals. And they win 24-21 over the Generals. I don't know. Some of these things, it just doesn't make any sense. The Maulers, 23. The Panthers, 7. The Maulers couldn't score a touchdown to save their lives. And then they put up 23 points. They gave up 7 points early in the game and then held them to nothing the rest of the game. And then the Houston Gamblers, who I had sort of given up for roadkill after week 2, they're now one of the best teams in the leagues, and they came back and they beat the Birmingham Stallions, who have dropped a couple who I thought were the class of the league early. So I'm totally confused by the USFL, and frankly, I am counseling myself and others right now, give it a rest. I just don't see an upside.
One other thing I don't like about the USFL, I don't know how you feel about this. I don't like the like satellite locations where there's really no true home and road team. I mean, it made sense during COVID, but it doesn't really make sense right now. I mean, I just feel like every single game being played in a stadium that's maybe 5% full, if that, it's not a good
And then
look.
they're piping in crowd noise.
Yeah.
Which, it makes it feel like, again, the whole thing feels like a staged television production. It doesn't feel like a sporting event.
Feels like they're shooting a movie about football.
Exactly. No, and that's exactly the feeling. It's esoteric. It's weird. There's no beer steak. There's no fun going on.
No, it's yeah.
Anyway, just your power rankings for what it's worth. Houston Gamblers #1, Breakers #2, Stallions #3, Showboats #4, New Jersey Generals 5, Pittsburgh Maulers 6. Who was 7? The Philadelphia Stars, who I thought were going to be good at the beginning of the season, and then the Michigan Panthers. Of course, again, take it all with a grain of salt, but my recommendation is this on the USFL when it comes to betting right now. Don't do it. I may, but probably
even on
not.
totals, I noticed the totals the first week for me, I had some success with some overs as it looked like the totals were too low. But it looks like they've been adjusting them. They've been coming up too high. Have you seen any value in totals at all in the USFL?
Nothing. No, whatever I think is going to happen, the exact opposite happens.
Got you.
And so I'm just like, okay, I have no idea. I will tell you flat out, I have no feel for this league at all right now. So my recommendation is don't listen to me. If anybody tells you they know how to bet the USFL, they're full of crap, because it doesn't make any sense right now. Just straight out doesn't make any sense. I'm Loud Esmond. He's David for Winners and Whiners. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, and getting this video that is not telling you to do anything except don't bet.
Not on the XFL, at least. I mean, not on the USFL.
Not on the USFL, at least. Everything else, sure. Check out the other videos for actual recommendations.